Dillian the Body Snatcher White here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, there's been several things flying around the internet right now that apparently the latest offer to Dillian Whyte from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to fight him April 13th at Wembley Stadium is £4 million. So that's about, $5 million? Okay. Listen, good money, right? Decent money. Very good money to you and me. I'd fight Joshua for £4 million, no problem. And no, that's not a challenge. Because I probably wouldn't live to spend it. Now, so for £4 million, it is good money. Okay, but let's try and look at it from another way as well as. Now, before we do, listen, I understand when people say, but it's a world title fight. And if you beat Joshua, you then become the A side and so on and so on and so on. Okay, get it, totally get it. But if you look at it from another perspective, okay, so £4 million, yeah, okay, it's decent money, but it's not great money considering the value of the fight. And yes, Joshua does hold all the cards in this fight, okay. So let's take a little look at Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. A percentage of 40% has been offered to these guys. And I think most people will probably agree that either one of those fights could generate anywhere round about the 100 million. Potentially even. Some people say 200 million, some people say 300 million. I think you're reaching a bit there. But 100 million is a pretty decent bar, I think. Okay, so Wilder could potentially earn £40 million. Convert it to dollars, do whatever, okay? We're not just talking about Wembley and the UK pay-per-view. Of course, we're talking the US pay-per-view. We're talking television broadcasting networks around the world. How much is this event going to generate? Okay, so if it is a ballpark figure of £100 million, then Wilder, £40 million. Tyson Fury, £40 million. Some people say Joshua versus Fury could do even better than what Joshua versus Wilder does. I'm not arguing with it, okay? I'm not arguing with it at all. So let's look at it as that potentially then Wilder and Fury are being offered £40 million to take on Anthony Joshua. Now compare it to Dillian Whyte's £4 million. Would you concede that what Dillian Whyte is being offered is 1/10 of what Wilder and Fury are being offered? Do you think that's fair? If you look at it from that point of view, okay, so maybe Joshua versus Whyte wouldn't be as big of an event as it would be for an undisputed fight or a Tyson Fury. Okay, again, let's concede on that point. Maybe it wouldn't generate as much money. But would it be fair to say that even if it only generated half of that, then there's a £20 million difference, isn't there? Compared to 4 million. If you look at it from that point of view. Also, for those who say, well, if Dillian Whyte beats him, then he becomes the A side, he then holds all the cards, he can get 50-50 or 60-40 in his favour by fighting Joshua in a rematch, because there will be a rematch. There will be a rematch put in. And yeah, it could happen. Dillian Whyte could go in there, accept 4 million or 5 million, whatever it may be, and blast him out. It could happen. For me, Dillian Whyte, if you look at the whole heavyweight landscape right now, as of today, Dillian Whyte is the most dangerous opponent for Anthony Joshua. Dillian Whyte isn't the Dillian Whyte of 2015 when he fought Joshua first time around when he had a shoulder injury. He's not the same fighter. Not even close. They're not even mirroring. Okay? And again, look at it from the other point of view. If you put Dillian Whyte in with Tyson Fury, can Dillian Whyte beat Tyson Fury? Can Dillian Whyte beat Deontay Wilder? Of course he can. Now, I say that Dillian Whyte is the most dangerous opponent for Anthony Joshua because of today. Listen, if Tyson Fury has another fight against Wilder, who knows? Who knows? That would be a far improved Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury on December the 1st wouldn't be able to hang with Anthony Joshua. The Tyson Fury, after one more fight, maybe two more fights, could he hang with Anthony Joshua? You bet your ass he can. So that's why I'm saying today, Dillian Whyte is the biggest risk for Anthony Joshua. More so than Jarrell Miller. More so than Wilder. We've seen Wilder being exposed in his last 2 fights. He lost his last fight, really. So to offer Dillian Whyte £4 million, listen, it's not my money. It's not my decision. And I wouldn't dare advise Dillian Whyte. But again, if you look on it as, are you saying that Dillian Whyte should accept this? Because he's not bringing anything to the table. Because he's not a world champion. He's bringing something to the table. He's a pay-per-view fighter. Whether it's at Wembley, whether it's in Cardiff, there will be a section of fans in there who would normally be cheering on Joshua, who will be cheering on Dillian Whyte on that night. He will bring a lot of fans to that arena that will be anti-Anthony Joshua for that one night only. Likewise, a lot of fans who would be supporting Dillian Whyte ordinarily, if he was to fight Joshua, may go against Dillian Whyte on the night for that one night only. So again, we can't overlook that part. But to say that his value is only worth 1/10 of a Wilder, because Wilder's been undisputed, 1/10 of Tyson Fury, because of the star power that Tyson Fury brings. 1/10. Dillian Whyte is number 1 WBC, number 1 WBO, and a pay-per-view fighter. He's had more pay-per-views than Wilder and Fury combined. So £4 million, if you look at it from that point of view, isn't a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, isn't. There is no way he's only worth 1/10 of a Wilder or 1/10 of a Fury. He's not. He's worth more than that. A hell of a lot more than that. Now, maybe it's a flat fee that he's been offered. Maybe it's a percentage. I don't know. Because people say that with the WBO, it's a 20% if you're mandatory. Yes, under some circumstances. There's also other circumstances, depending on where the fight happens, because they're both British, he could get 40%. But again, there's some clarity on that one. Because when Hughie Fury took on Joseph Parker, when Joseph Parker was WBO champion, Hughie Fury got 40%. Do you see what I'm getting at? Now, I'm not saying that Joshua should offer him 40%. I know that's what Dillian Whyte is saying. He should get 40%. Maybe he's serious. Maybe he's going to stick to his guns and say 40% or no damn fight. Because if Wilder and Fury do fight each other next, outside of Dillian Whyte, who can fill Wembley Stadium with Anthony Joshua? Who? Because fans want to see him in there with big fights now. We've become accustomed to watching Joshua on big fights now, haven't we? Povetkin was a huge fight. So he can't go fight Manuel Char and fill out Wembley Stadium. They'll give it a damn good go and they'll probably get close to it. But unfortunately, Wembley have got this new policy about coach packages, which makes selling tickets a little bit more difficult. But Dillian Whyte is bringing something to the table. He's not just an opponent. He's bringing something, and people need to be real about it. 4 million, it's a lot of money. But in the grand scheme of things, it's 1/10 of the value of Wilder and Fury. For me, that's unfair. Well, hopefully I kind of make sense on it. As I said, I do understand those people who say, but it's world title. He could go the Dominic Brazil route, beat Dominic Brazil, become WBC mandatory, and then guarantee a fight with the winner of Fury and Wilder. Because WBC are not going to allow a third fight straight away. So if he was to fight one of them, become WBC heavyweight champion, he could go to Joshua and say 50-50, couldn't he? Because him holding the WBC belt is more valuable to a Joshua fight than what Wilder bringing a WBC belt is. Because it's two Brits coming together. And Dillian Whyte is a big name now. Some people don't like him, some people don't believe in him. But, as I said, this is Anthony Joshua's toughest fight. If he takes on Dillian Whyte, it's his toughest fight. I'm not saying Dillian Whyte's going to win. I'm not saying Joshua's going to win. This will be probably the first time that I look on both these fighters not confident about who's going to win. But ultimately, it is a business, whether people like it or not. But for me, I don't think that Dillian Whyte is worth 1/10 of a Wilder or 1/10 of a Tyson Fury. Even though £4 million is a lot of money. But he's not worth 1/10 of what them are. He's worth a hell of a lot more. Isn't he? Surely. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. You drop me yours, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.